now, Luisa Krogmann, who is the founder and CEO of Aeyde, how to build a brand in the digital age. Please give it up for Luisa. Yeah.
Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Luisa, and Brian was just talking about a heritage brand, 70 years old, 2,000 employees on a global level. I'm talking today about a brand that is 3 years old, 15 employees, but also on a global level. Let me start with a little video. You will see our next fall-winter campaign that nobody has seen so far. We launched it in like 2 weeks, just to give you a little debrief on the brand.
9 p.m. Darkest dreams. Pale shades. Sentence. Deserted. Solemn worth. A moth. Dancing with flat leaves. Teasing. Not now, not now. Rain. In the warmest month. Waiting for the moon. Pale light. Archaic, inconspicuous celebrations. An enfolding scent of the untouchable. Sprawling, unveiling, fleeting, wilting, vanishing with the morning sun. Falling petals, exhaled beauty.
All right. So yeah, that is our new brand campaign video for the next season. So let me quickly introduce you the brand. Aeyde is a digital-first, direct-to-consumer brand. We founded Aeyde in 2015. The brand is now 3.5, almost 4 years old, if you count the living room days that Konstantin and I, my co-founder, had before we started to really launch the brand. What we do is we build luxury accessories at an affordable price. So our unique selling proposition is really we offer the most desirable designs for the best quality that you can source them for at a price level that is impeccable. To give you a quick example, so we produce shoes that we sell on a price point between 150 and 300 euros. Everything is made in Italy at the best manufacturers that you can get in Italy. We've sourced from leather suppliers that Prada, that Gucci, that all of the big names work with as well. And we just offer them at a very different price point. And how is that all possible? It's only possible because we work just online. So I tell you a little bit now about what we maybe do different. First of all, I think what is important, and maybe there are some people here today that maybe think about building their own brand. Konstantin and me were both not designers. I think this is super important and maybe very different to other design brands that start in this sort of like field. Both Konstantin and me have a business background. I worked for the private labels at Zalando before. I worked sort of like on low price fashion. I sourced t-shirts for like 10 euros before I started the brand. And now I work on a luxury product that I just sell at a very different price point. What we did maybe do different than maybe other brands before they start. Many brands are founded by, a very spirited designer that thinks, I love my product, I love the design, and then sort of like I launched a brand, I need a big runway show, I need to present my collection, etc. Konstantin and me, we decided to do a different way. We looked into the market. We sort of like analyzed a little bit the shoe market in that case 3 years ago, where we saw there's a huge market in the low price area. There's like a huge market in the luxury area, but there's no market like in between. So there's no shoe for like, 100, 150, 200 euro that I back then was able to, or wanted to buy basically. So I came from this customer perspective where I really thought, okay, I really want to buy a product that has amazing quality for a price that is not 500, 600 euros. So what we call today is the segment affordable luxury that we sort of like target with our brand Aeyde. So we really sit in the middle between luxury and, high street fashion. And quickly moving on. So what we saw and what we believe today the most important for building a brand, and I think Brian has also said that, is the quality. So we, since we were used to like low price sourcing and sort of like India production, China production, we thought, okay, no, we really want to get the product from the country where the product has its origin and where, you would just find the best quality. And yes, of course, we pay a super high price for, buying this product. But in the end, we decided, okay, to build this brand and to get sort of like a really desirable product in place, we have to go to the best country to source the product. And yes, margins and all of that we can optimize later, but the product has to be the key, especially if you want to set up a new brand. There's nothing more important than the product that you sell. So, fun fact, we started with 12 SKUs in 2015, so a really tiny assortment, and many people would say, okay, 12 products is nothing, Today we have about 200 products in our catalog, and season over season we analyzed our top selling shapes. We sort of like looked at the assortment, looked into, okay, what is missing, what do we need, what do we want more of. And today we sell 200 styles and on Aeyde.com and also globally, and they work. And it's not an assortment that has 300, 400 SKUs. It's a really tiny assortment, it's very focused, and it's crystal clear to our customer what they get and what they buy. So at the beginning, when the brand was super small, 2015, Konstantin and me alone in the office, we were super happy to get our product, a factory in place. We started to define our marketing strategy. And actually we figured out, okay, everything went into our product creation. We lost so much money, so we don't have any money to invest into a marketing strategy. So what do we do? Okay, I think we had back then 10,000 euro or something that we decided, okay, well, how can we invest this smart so that we get, an outcome? And for big corporations, if you give a marketing budget for a launch of something new, for a website, for a new product, it's very little. So what we did is we just did PR, nothing else. So from the beginning, we decided to build up an in-house PR team because we said, okay, press agencies is just too expensive. We cannot afford it. So right from the beginning, we started with a freelance person that worked for us in-house. She basically did the first steps in communication. Really talked to all the different magazines in Germany, and then we had a very successful launch in 2015, and the first batch of 80 products sold out entirely. Today we're obviously on a little bit different level. Today we're really represented at Wallpaper, Harper's Bazaar, Vogue internationally, and we work with an agency on an international level. And that's maybe also different to other brands. So we sort of like left Germany very, very early. We decided, okay, if you want to build a fashion brand from Germany, probably it would be better to have also an international, approach to the brand communication. So basically, half a year after we started, we decided, okay, we need a UK-based agency, and since then, we worked with an agency in the UK to help us building the communication strategy and building sort of like the brand buzz internationally. Digital marketing. Thing is a bit digital marketing. I think this is maybe the core part of the brand, where I think also big corporations still always ask the question, like, how do you do that with the digital thing? And I think, yes, for young brands, it's way more easy. If you turn a corporation that is huge into something, into something digital, but the mindset is not digital, then it's very hard. Versus when you start something and you think, digital is the channel that you feel the most attracted to and it's the most easy for you, then you just do it naturally. And this is what we did. So at the beginning, we really decided, okay, Instagram is for free, so it's a marketing channel that works perfectly for us because we don't have any budget. So we really started Instagram when back in the days everybody was shouting and waving about this blogger and influencer buzz, and the media landscape was shifting, and everybody was like, okay, I'm not sure how in the end the market will change, how the industry will change. And we, for the brand, decided, okay, Instagram, great channel. We put a little bit of content there. After a while, we really formed a content strategy. And now content is the most important tool for us to really build this brand and to get the brand message across and to really define strategies and driven from the content marketing side into sort of like our digital channels. And what in the end for any brand, and I think this is for very young brands, small brands, big brands, is super important, is this community around a brand. I think no brand is a brand if there is no, fan base around the brand. And we basically built this fan base digitally. And today we started with in 2016, 5,000 followers. In 2019, now we have about 52,000 followers. And I think the growth on Instagram was massively because what we managed is that all of those followers are also sort of like converting into our newsletter, where we inform the customer about new, product intakes, product launches, any sort of like brand activity that we do. So for us, this follower base is the most important, this is the customer crowd, and since everything is built naturally, unpaid, it's really loyal customers that we really speak to every day. And you get so much information from those customers. At the beginning, for the first year, I was managing Instagram all on my own. Every customer, every person, every influencer, every person that wanted to Slack us a message or commented, I was actually replying myself to learn, to really see, okay, what do they want, what do they need, what are they, feeling like. We also do these amazing things like asking customers for, hey, do you want another material on that sort of like product? We really engage with the customer base and really get so much insight from the customers. And this is also why the brand today, we launched a little jewelry line, and that is also driven by sort of like the customers that commented on our images saying, amazing jewelry that you have on this model. And I said, oh my God, it's not our jewelry. So I really realized, okay, the customer wanted to buy the jewelry piece that we had on a model on her head. So the stylist used sort of like the product. And I realized, oh my God, they really want to buy this now from us, from the brand. So we did a little test. We launched 9 pieces of jewelry in November. And since then, we built up the range because also there we see the same gap in the market for sort of like very high-end luxury jewelry pieces that are sourced from Italy on a sort of like 18-karat gold pleated base. And people love it, But it's interesting how it changed because the digital marketing approach is really you come from the customer that tells you something and you do with this information and you integrate that for your brand. These are our girls that we work with. I think it's important when you work digitally that you work with the right influencers that really suit to your brand and suit to your target customer and the person that you really want to reach. We work on a very global level. We work with Leandra Medin from Man Repella. She founded one of the most important fashion blogs in New York. Blanca Miro, we just launched a special collaboration with her. And then some sort of like, I think for Germany, Maya Y is probably one of the most known influencers on this slide. But for us, it's really important that we have a very curated approach to what influencers do we work with. We cannot work with any influencer that we want. For us, it's important that they support the brand image in a certain way. Some more girls on this slide. Wholesale versus direct to consumer. Also, that is maybe an interesting point. I think when you're a young brand, you have all the opportunities out there. You could build a brand, build a product, start and launch it into wholesale. What did we do? For the first 1.5 years, we really stayed online only. We sold every single product really just on our platform, Aeyde.com. And only in 2017, we really started to launch the brand into wholesale because we were ready by then. Before, I always said, we're not ready for wholesale. We're not ready. The product is not there. The collection is not big enough. You have so much stress to work with like a wholesaler. They want, markdown contributions. They want sort of like a certain delivery time frame. If you don't deliver the product in time, they cancel your product. So it's really, for me, it was like, oh my God, the big, scary monster wholesale. So do we really want to start that? And in 2017, we did a very successful collaboration with a concept store in Hamburg. It was Anita Haas that we started the collaboration with. The product was selling out 3 times. 3 times after we brought a reorder in, and I thought, okay, wait a second, there's huge potential in wholesale. If we work in the right way with the wholesaler, and how we work today is like we really work on the marketing efforts that wholesalers put into your product. In 2015, as I said, we had 0 accounts. 2017, we really started to build it up, and within 2 seasons, we were able to get our first 75 wholesale accounts that we work with today. We started very early on with Moda Operandi. I think everybody that works with Moda Operandi knows they do a lot for your marketing. They support you on campaigns. They shoot your imagery. They sort of like really put an effort in. The same goes for Net-a-Porter. If once you start with them and you align the right sort of like deals, they really are super powerful for sort of like reaching new customers. So for us, how we work with wholesale, we see it as customer acquisition tool. If you are a brand that nobody knows, that wants to gain new customers, wholesale is a perfect tool to reach new customers, and then later you need to be smart to convert them back into your own channel and to sort of like further work with those customers. Operations, I think, is also a super important point. I think many brands, and many small brands especially, they struggle from the beginning to put their operations in place. So the minute they get an order, or if they get 10 items that a customer buys, they like freak out and they're super overwhelmed with how can they ship everything, especially if the team is small. So this is my co-founder's part. He's really strongly on the operations side. From the beginning, we had a warehouse. From the beginning, everything was technically, fluently integrated. So the minute a customer ordered, 2 days later, the product was out, even if we had just 2 orders a day or something when we were super small. So from the beginning, we really took a lot of effort to have a very smooth running operations process, and I think this is also important for any brand. It regards to customer service, it regards to operations. The customer really expects, even for small brands, that everything is on the same level as big brands. And yeah, last but not least, I think what is super important, if there is anybody out there that wants to build a brand, I think the team is the most important. It's not just me that builds the brand. I think it's a very, very joyful team to work with. We work with experts from the industry. Also there, we didn't hire, let's say, only interns that don't know anything yet. We have very experienced on all core areas of the team that every day give their best to make this little baby grow and to really build a sustainable and very joyful brand. Thank you so much.
Eine ganz kurze Antwort.